I had an opening for this video, but this episode just blew my mind. So I'm all over the place right now, guys. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about The Flash, Season 1, Episode 23, Fast Enough. And this is the season finale of Season 1, and where do I even begin, guys? This episode could... Okay, I'm gonna leave that for the end, but let's get through this. I'm gonna talk about what I thought about the episode, as well as the overall thoughts on Season 1. Let us begin. So first of all, we have an all-new beginning here, an all-new introduction. It's sort of the same, but it's a little bit more dramatic. There's something different about the opening. It's more dramatic this time, a more dramatic opening, with Barry kind of saying some of the same things he's said in some of the other openings, but there's something different about it, which, okay, it's starting to set the mood of what this episode is. This is not going to be like the other episodes that came before. This is the finale, and shit is going down in this episode. And how does the episode start with a conversation between Wells and Barry, and Wells just comes out with it. He tells him the whole story. Some of it we already knew. Some of it he clarifies even more. He makes a lot of things more clearer. And what I do want to note about what he mentions is that he mentions that an other was something that him and Barry were both fighting in the year 2024. So that makes me wonder, who is this other? That to me was interesting to listen to. We also have Ronnie and Dr. Stein back. They both return. Although we don't really see them. We don't see them use their power in this episode. But obviously Ronnie stuck around after capturing the Reverse Flash last week. So that was pretty cool that we got to see both of them in this one. So Wells also makes Barry a little deal. He tells Barry, look, Barry, there is a way you can change the past. You can save your mother. And so he gives him tips on how he can, by running so fast that he can go through time, either the past or the future, wherever he wants. And Barry, at first he brushes it off, but then he talks about it with everybody else, and Joe takes him along and says, hey, maybe this is a good idea, maybe you should do it, you deserve it after all. And you gotta love Joe, man. I love Joe ever since the beginning, and I'm glad he's still around. I was worried in this episode they were going to kill him, and I'm so happy they didn't. I'm so happy they ended it the way... Well, I'll get to that later, but I'm just glad he didn't die. We also have a little talk with Barry's real father, Henry, who's still in prison, and Iris as well. And, what I find cool about these three conversations that Barry had with Joe, Iris, and Henry, Barry is the one that's convincing Barry to go back in time and change the past, save his mother, and have his father out of prison and all that. Henry is the one telling Barry, don't do it, because whatever you do, it's going to be bad. Iris is the one in the middle. She's the one saying, do what your heart tells you. So you wonder, okay, so what's Barry gonna pick? And Barry decides to, take Wells up on his offer. He decides to, okay, let's go into the past and save my mom. And that's what he does. What I really like, though, is when he gets there, here's where the emotions start. He goes back, and there's the other Flash fighting the Reverse Flash. And if you're looking very carefully, the Flash from the future tells Barry, he signals to him to not go, and Barry listens to him, signaling that, don't do it, you're gonna regret it, or something bad's gonna happen, or whatever, and Barry listens to him. there are so many emotional scenes in this episode, man. The emotional conversations that he has with Iris, Joe, and Wells. But the one that got me teary-eyed, I swear to God, I got teary-eyed. My eyes got all teary during this moment. Barry talking to his mom and confessing, telling her that he's the Flash and all that. It was such a great moment. I hardly cry at television shows. There's probably the only other time I probably did tear up on another show was Smallville, where Jonathan Kent died back in season 5. That's probably the only other time in TV history where I actually did tear up. And this episode was the same. This episode was probably even more. So, wow. It was the writing on this episode was really well done. I have to give great job to the writers. We also got some other tidbits with the other actors, For an example, Cisco has a conversation with Wells at one point in the episode and Cisco reveals to Wells that, hey, I seen this other timeline where you kill me. And Wells starts realizing, what? You mean you saw another timeline where, so he starts putting this together that the accelerator, the particle accelerator, gave Cisco powers, and Cisco doesn't want to believe it. So obviously a lot of fans out there know that Cisco will eventually become the Vibe, who that's kind of his powers, that he can see in other dimensions and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see. Obviously they'll play more around with that next season, I'm hoping, so that's really cool. We also have Dr. Stein telling Eddie that, hey, because Eddie's feeling down, feeling that, his future maybe with Iris and all that is hopeless, and maybe he has no future on the team. And, Dr. Stein, he gives Eddie a little bit of hope, saying, hey, maybe your future won't be that bad. And here's where the episode kind of was starting to worry me a little bit. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna like what they're setting up here, because Eddie tells Iris, you know what, my future is with you, screw the future. So I didn't know where they were going with this, and Iris agrees with him, so she kisses him, and I'm like, oh man, come on, I wanted to see Barry get it on with Iris and all that. Then we had Ronnie and Caitlin getting married, which seemed to come out of nowhere for me at first. And that got me a little bit curious, like, why are they getting married all of a sudden? Did they announce it, like, not too long ago? I don't remember. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But I thought the wedding, it felt almost like a season finale, or a series finale, where they were kind of, like, wrapping things up, but, like, Barry wasn't he was almost going to get what he needed, but that changed, right, until the very end. And then we get this huge fight after Barry goes and saves his mom. He comes back into the present where, Reverse Flash, Harrison Wells, or, aboard Thawne, he's about to go back to his time. But what happens? Barry comes and punches him in the face, and a huge fight breaks out. This is where things are going insane, and you're wondering what the hell's going on. I'm literally on the edge of my seat. Like, holy cow, man. This was a really cool moment. And then Eddie shoots himself, and Reverse Flash starts disappearing, and you're thinking, oh my god, what the hell just happened? And, it's funny, I had a conversation with someone saying that, if Eddie dies, I wouldn't care that much. But I cared about Eddie dying. I didn't want him to really die. I'm like, oh my god, no, Eddie, what are you doing, you idiot? And yeah, Eddie shot himself to erase Reverse Flash from existence. But then I'm thinking, like, wait, if Reverse Flash doesn't exist, how is Barry going to become the Flash? And I have no idea, man. This is going so insane. And just when you think things couldn't get insane enough, we get all these Easter eggs from Wells, by the way. I should mention that too. The Easter eggs from Wells, we get a name from Rip Hunter. We get a name drop of Rip Hunter. We got to see Hawk Girl very briefly, which if you saw the Legends of Tomorrow trailer, it was the same image of her in the trailer. We even got a small glimpse when Barry was running back in time before he got to his mother. You see the brief clip of Captain Cold, Heatwave, and the Flash and the Atom all together in that Legends of Tomorrow trailer. If you haven't seen that trailer, go check it out. It's a really good trailer and another show I'm really looking forward to this coming year. And we even get the big one, that helmet that came out of the portal. Jay Garrick. Jay Garrick, for those of you that don't know, is the original Flash in the comics. The very first Flash before Barry became the Golden Age Flash, I guess you can say. So what does that mean? Because Wells looked a little concerned as soon as he saw the helmet. He was like, oh, that's my exit cue, and he was about to leave. And so who knows? Are we going to see Jay Garrick next season or what? I have no idea. Rip Hunter we know is coming. And we know that the writers of these shows and the producers, they always leave these Easter eggs not by accident. It's always on purpose. There's always a purpose for these Easter eggs. Some of them come to frustration, some of them don't. But holy cow, season 2 is already looking good. And then here comes the ending. The ending comes here. And you think, okay, how are they going to top it after all that just happened? There's a huge portal going on in the sky. It was like a movie. I swear to God, this was like watching a movie almost. I felt like I was almost watching a Flash movie. This was amazing. I could not believe what I was watching and literally blew my mind. I'm like, this whole episode was just simply beautiful. They were building it up. They had a lot of the emotional moments, and then they go all out with it. And I'm like hoping, please do not end on a cliffhanger. Please do not end on a cliffhanger. And they ended on a cliffhanger. So F you guys, F you producers and writers of this show. You leaving me like this? What the hell, man? Why couldn't you end it like, okay, not like Arrow, because I don't know. Why did you have to end it like this? And now make me suffer throughout the summer? I can't wait till fall. Holy cow, just send me the scripts, let me read them until then. Or invite me to the set and have me have a little sneak peek at what's gonna happen. Okay, I can't wait. Ugh, it's like you guys hate me. Anyways, let's wrap this up. I am giving this episode a 10 out of 10. This was a great episode. I don't think you can go beyond this, because, I mean, there are probably like one or two other episodes that I've given a 10 out of 10 to, but this one beats those ones, hands down. And yeah, I was really, really happy with this episode. Yeah, even the Caitlyn moment with marrying Ronnie, I thought, looking back on it now, it made sense in the context of the episode. Everything made sense in the context of this episode. This episode was really well written. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen now. What are the effects that are going to happen because of this, thing in the sky? Where is Barry going? Is he going into the portal and going to be... Because I heard they want to look into multiverses next season. So that's going to be interesting. Like, what multiverses are we going to see? Are we going to see different timelines? What would happen to these characters if this or this happened? Are we going to see Reverse Flash again? I hope so. I want to see Wells. I want to see Tom Cavanagh come back as Harrison Wells, or what's his name? Reverse Flash, or Eobard Thawne, whatever you want to call him. I want to see him come back because he is an amazing actor. We need him back. We need more actors like this. This whole cast is great, but he was just simply awesome to watch in this season. He definitely stole the show a lot of the times. And guys, as a whole, I am giving The Flash a 9 out of 10. There were a lot of really great episodes, but you always have to be fair and reasonable when rating these things. And with a clear mind, I am going, even though there were a couple of 10s there, this was a 9 out of 10 season. This was almost perfect. It definitely is the best superhero TV show right now, in my opinion. This I don't want to say it's better than Smallville yet because, you know, Smallville had 10 seasons. Flash is only on 1 season, so it's kind of an unfair comparison. But if I had to compare Flash to season 1 of Arrow, to season 1 of Smallville, to season 1 of Daredevil, Flash is the best. That's what I'm going to say, and that's how I'm going to leave it. So guys, what did you think of this season of The Flash? What did you think of the season finale? This was insane, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me. And until next season, guys, take care.